So that's back-to-back drives where they've thrown an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
And now out comes Minnesota. That opening drive ended with the INT. It didn't lead to points, but still not the way they were hoping to begin the game.
But how about going and telling your defense, thank you, a huge thank you. You said it didn't lead to points, stalled off that drive. Now they've got a chance to redeem themselves and maybe reward their defense a little bit by putting some points on the board on this one. They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
They'll run him now out of the gun. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and that's going to make it 3rd down and 10. The chance of wasting this great starting field position, a real threat. This is 3rd and long. On 3rd down, Cousins. And the pressure too much that time as Cousins goes down. DJ Reader in there to drop him for a loss of 10, and it'll be 4th and long. So they are going to call on Dan Bailey here. His career long is 56 yards done in Seattle. This will be from 56 yards out. And I don't think this has the carry. It does not. It's no good. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, and it's Texans football as we get going in quarter number 2. They take over 1st and 10 up near midfield. And now out comes Houston. And it's been a miserable start for them offensively. Obviously, 2 drives, 2 interceptions.
And this is where you have to know your quarterback and know how you actually have to reach him. Do you do it with a little bit of humor? Maybe you break the ice a little bit like, hey, didn't we practice in that color jersey all week? Not the one that you're throwing it to? Or maybe you have to be stern with him. But whatever it's going to take to get the message, it has to be done. He's putting the game in jeopardy.
On 2nd down, they run with Stewart. And he's got it across the midfield stripe and into Viking territory. It's Everson Griffin who made the tackle.
Well, if you're a football guy, that's a pretty run because everyone is in sync right there. Obviously, the guy carrying the ball, but how about the people up front? Leverage, athleticism, they created some nice space for him.
And the Vikings with an extra defender in the secondary on 3rd.
Playing coverage here.
Down! Blue 80! Blue 80!
From the gun, here's Watson. The Vikings after him, and they get there for the sack. Daniil Hunter in there to drop him for his 11th sack of the year. The Texans send the punter out as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. They punted 3 times in the loss last week as he sends this one away. And the Texans scoop it. And maybe getting a little too cute there on the punt return. Sometimes they forget paramount holding on to that football.
I really do believe most of the return guys think to themselves, when I get the ball, I'm going to make the play that's going to change the game.
I'm going to break it.
I'm going to break it. And you love that they have that attitude, but your point is so well taken. What do you have to do? First and foremost,
hold on to it.
Take care of the football. That's all he needed to do.
And because they couldn't hit the long field goal, they are set up nicely offensively at the 41, 1st and 10. Off of play action, it's Watson. Open man is Darius Fountain. And they're able to get this one past the 30 to the 25-yard line. 16 yards on that one, and also a Texan first down. Defensively, they just lost him. He was waving his arms saying, I'm wide open. They found it.
Yeah, and it's so interesting about when a receiver starts to wave his arms, because some guys, right off the line of scrimmage, they declare themselves open. You know, those guys throw the one arm up, hit me right now. In this case, he was so wide open that he was frantically trying to get his attention to make sure he got the football. And then I'm sure his only thought when the ball was in the air, don't drop it. Had too much time to think.
That one goes for 24 yards. To throw is Watson. From the gun, he'll throw. Being chased out left. And he whips that one incomplete there.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
An incomplete pass on first down. Here's 2nd and goal. Watson looks to throw again. And incomplete. He tried to leave it underneath. Nearly got picked. They may be lucky to have that one back. 3rd down.
I tell you, Brandon, this defense is playing with some confidence. Haven't allowed a point yet. Flying to the football. I'm telling you, it's almost 11 to the ball on every snap. Another nice job there to force an incompletion.
Now Watson on 3rd and goal. And I think he's going to go. They're not going to get him. He's at the 40, the 20, 10, and he's going to score. It's a Viking touchdown.
That was an interception, but on the field, the guys who are picking it off, they're not saying that. What word are they using? It's Oski. And that means catch the ball and go the other way.
That's your vernacular. I've never heard anybody say Oski.
Ask around. They'll tell you.
Extra point up and good by Bailey. And that makes the score 7-0. So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. And the Texans set to come onto the field. And last time, decent field position through the pick six. Obviously costly.
But they can't afford to just bunker in now. All right, good field position means go ahead and attack on offense. Try and press the advantage a little bit. They just have to be better with the football on this possession.
So that didn't bother you too much last time?
No, because it's exactly what you're supposed to do. You can't have good field position and not try to take advantage of it. Sometimes the defense makes a good play, too.
That's going to go as a loss of 4, and it'll be 2nd down.
Well, forget about finding a lane there. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. Probably fortunate he was able to hold on to the football.
So the first play of the drive lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14. Now this time he'll look to throw. Pressure coming from the Vikings, and they get there and bring him down. Daniil Hunter in there to get him, and that's sack number 12 for him on the year. Gonna need something special here on 3rd and long after that sack. What does Watson have in his arsenal? They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll lose yardage on this one back to the 13. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th.
Partner, you mind if I take off this headset and put on a coaching headset?
You want to get this running game going?
I want to get this running game going. I'm going down there and saying, gentlemen, We have got to run the football. We've got to get it going right now.
Yeah, to this point in the second quarter, it has been a struggle. A very good return there. Give him an even 20 yards. And the Vikings, they'll be set up well as they take over in great field position. 1st and 10. Now the Vikings offense works their way back onto the field. Last time out, they had that long 50-plus yard field goal that they missed.
And I'm sure on their sideline they're thinking to themselves, okay, do we still want to try one if we're in that position again? And I would dare say that the answer would be yes. They're going to have a lot of confidence in their kicker. But just to be on the safe side, I'm sure they told their offensive guys, can we get a little bit closer this time?
Closer.
Yeah, you know, I'd rather get in the end zone first and foremost. But if all else fails, less of a field goal attempt for him.
First red zone chance now for the Vikings. They've got a 1st and 10 at the 17. And they'll go on the ground. And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. It's a 10-yard gain there, and it sets them up now 1st and goal.
We don't talk about it very often, but sometimes there's a dip in intensity when you start the second half, which can manifest itself in some sloppy tackling. And how about right there? He ran right through that weak tackle attempt.
Two minutes to go here in the first half. We're back to Houston after this timeout. They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. A great effort there with a lucky number 13 touchdowns now on the year. And the Vikings are going to add on to their lead. Bailey got the extra point, and that'll make the score 14-0. Bailey now to kick this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Texans offense now, they get set to head back on the field here. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points get that 0 off the board. After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. Now we'll play fake, and it's Watson. Under pressure now, Watson, and down he goes. And now the Vikings are going to stop it here on defense with a timeout, as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down. Now Watson. This is screen to Abdullah. And he'll be a couple yards shy of the 20 at the 18. Another timeout called by the Vikings now, as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. Fielded just inside the 30. Great blocking on the return. It springs him for 25. And this offense, they're going to have excellent field position. They take over with a 1st and 10 on the short side of the field. The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down. Now they'll run it on the toss. And he's going to get this one down near the 45-yard line. Just a yard on the 1st down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
2nd down, Cousins. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. It's a gain of 11 yards that time, and it produces a new set of downs.
Good route, good pickup for first down yardage, and that is a tough one to cover, the angle route, because a running back getting out of the backfield, if you're trying to cover that, especially if you're in the linebacker spot and you're seeing this play develop, he heads out towards the flat first, and that often gets you to overcommit running in that direction. Then he cuts back up inside you into the middle of the field. That's what we just saw there for a nice pickup.
Now a second down throw for the end zone, but it's incomplete. So the long attempt falls innocently to the ground, and it brings up third. So a challenge coming down from the booth, and that's where these challenges come from, of course, in the final 2 minutes of the half.
Yeah, now we're going to New York, right? That's command central for the officials. They'll talk, they'll take a look at it, communicate with the referee at the game site, and issue a final decision because they do have the final call now.
And he will cross the 30 down to the 29-yard line. Now a timeout coming here defensively. As on fourth down, may as well make him punt it. So out comes the field goal team now for the second time here today. This one from 46 yards out. And Bailey able to knock it through. And the lead will grow. It's now 17-0. So he gets a shot at atoning for the earlier miss here in the first half and able to knock it through.
And what a relief for him, don't you think? Because how many games have we done where kickers missed one early and never gotten a chance to atone for it the rest of the game? That's a lot to carry around.
Very short kick. This will be taken by one of the up men. And now out comes Houston. And from this spot in the field with the clock where it's at, you think we're just going to see a knee and that's it?
And I think in this situation, that's the proper play. But we do know there's some risk takers out there that may want to take one more shot before the clock runs out.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. The final shot before the break. Watson forced out to his left. Now he'll throw deep left side. And this is taken in at the 5. And he takes it all the way down to the 3. So we hit halftime with our visitors, the Vikings, taking the lead to the locker room. As we'll get you over to Orlando, where standing by is Jonathan Coachman. He has our EA Sports halftime report. The Vikings have to like their position. They've got the lead. They get this football as well as we are back and underway for the second half. Out comes the Houston offense as they get set to take over here. They come out here with a 0 on the scoreboard. What was said in that locker room? That's what I want to know.
I would love to have been in there because we often have the feeling that there's a lot of shouting, screaming, people upset. But typically, halftime locker rooms are a lot more clinical than that. And in this case, are they upset that the plays weren't working because...
That's caught at the 25. And he is down deep into Minnesota territory. Watson to Hopkins for a huge hookup and even 60 yards. Line of scrimmage moves from their own 25 all the way to the red zone now for 1st and 10. Now a play fake here on 1st down. He's just going to dump this one off to his fullback out of the backfield. And they'll bring him down at the 13-yard line. It'll be a pickup of just 2, and it'll make it a 2nd down. Here's Watson. A dump off here to Stewart. And he'll take this one in for a Texans touchdown. A great play there. His 11th touchdown of the year. And the Texans cut into that lead. And it's 17-7. Fairbairn now to kick this one away. This is fielded at the goal line. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. It's the Vikings' turn on offense. We get ready for their first possession of the second half. The third quarter has not been kind to them. After they built that lead at intermission, they've seen that lead shrink.
And how much of that is simply execution? How much of that is maybe you lose your edge a little bit because you've got a lead? And you do have to credit the other team some because they've made some adjustments to start to slow them down. Can they find those counters now, those extra plays or plays they haven't run that'll be effective and get them back moving again?
They'll be looking for something here, anything to seize that momentum back.
Let's go. Hey, flipper.
Now a second down throw for Cousins. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
I think he had to unload that one before he wanted to. He was right up in his grill. I think he was a dentist there without a license, don't you?
Just not enough time for the play to develop. Just lucky it wasn't a fumble, really. The Vikings on third down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This is 3rd and 9. From the gun, here's Cousins. Able to complete this one to Tyler Conklin. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 12 yards there as they keep this drive rolling. It's another first down. Now they'll run it on the toss. And they get him down right near the midfield stripe. A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be second down.
I know the toss play begins with the guy taking the snap and turning around and tossing it to the runner. But where the real intrigue is, can they seal the edge? Whether it's an offensive tackle or a tight end in the direction they want to run the football. If they do that, that's the result that you get, that type of a gain. If they don't, oftentimes it's not a very successful play.
Only a gain of a yard, but that's all they needed, as that's going to move the chains. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to get this one down near the 45-yard line. A gain of 3, second down.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
Hey, flipper.
And they'll run it here. They'll get only a couple down to the 44.
And this is why aggressive defensive coordinators love to blitz. It wreaks havoc because they end up taking their attention to the blitzers, freed up the D lineman to make the play.
The Vikings on third down, 2 for 5 to this point. This will be 3rd and 5. Now they'll run it on the toss. It goes as a gain of 9, and it moves the chains.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball, protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. All runs on this drive so far. It's 1st and 10. A first down throw for Cousins. He's got it complete to Stephon Diggs. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
And they'll go with a ground attack here. And he'll be brought down inside the 20 at the 19. They get 6 on the pickup there as the drive will continue.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive, because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense is getting a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard. From the red zone now, Cousins escaping the pressure right. Oh, you saw that one coming. It's intercepted, thrown back across his body. Picked off inside the 10. Well, that's 3 picks he's now thrown in this game.
And I know this, the holiday season, because here we are in December.
Season of giving.
Right, it is the season of giving. Maybe for his own sake after the game, he may have to announce that he's donating certain amounts to charity for each interception that he threw.
After the interception, here's Watson. And Watson's going to go down in the end zone. It's a safety. And you know, the man who sat in my chair the last few years, he has a theory. These plays, these safeties, they're so rare. Maybe they should be worth more than 2, maybe 4 points.
I think he's got a great point. I really do, Brandon. But I would go ahead and up it to 6. I'm a former defender.
Ooh.
To me, that's like scoring a touchdown.
Easy now. I'll go 4. I don't know about 6.
Come up to 6.
That's a lot of points. And now out comes Minnesota. And 3 interceptions in this game. And I would have to think, I wasn't a quarterback, but number 4 is kind of, oh, you're like, oh, man, I can't throw 4.
No, what's interesting is, what do the coaches decide to do now? Having thrown 3, do you alter your offensive strategy? Do you take the ball out of it?
And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off at the 45. And they'll take over inside the 45 at the 44-yard line. This defense figured out something in the locker room. That's 2 third-quarter picks now.
And you just wonder, did he get too comfortable in the locker room himself? His team has the lead. Take care of the football. He's putting them in jeopardy right now.
Target.
They go play action here on 1st down. Oh, the ball is out. Watson lost it. And they will set up shop in enemy territory at the 42-yard line.
With no running backs in the backfield to help pass protect, all the receivers in their patterns, it's going to be hot routes. If they sense a blitz or pressure on the quarterback, they've got to be prepared to break routes off early and get the football. In this case, never even had a chance. They popped the ball free in the backfield.
And on the ground they go with a running back. Not much there. Maybe a couple as he's taken down at the 40.
I don't think any of us were surprised that they decided to start this drive on the ground after the last 2 drives ended in interceptions.
Unfortunately, though, not a lot going on that first play.
Yeah, I think the anticipation was felt also by the defense.
And he only manages a couple here down to about the 38-yard line.
J.J. Watt makes another tackle there, and it's for a minimal gain. And let's face it, if that's all you're going to get running the ball, you're not going to have much success against him and his team.
Or, yeah, you better find a way to go around J.J. Watt, which isn't easy to do.
It's really not, because you got to try everything. Can you go around him? Can you go by him? Can you influence him to get him out of position so maybe you can wall him off? He's a really sharp, intelligent player, as well as a physical specimen.
And now a shot taken on 3rd down, but it's going to wind up incomplete. Dan Bailey now for the field goal try. This officially a 55-yard attempt. And he has got it from 55 yards away. That was never in doubt. So they recovered the fumble, but ultimately could not take advantage of the short field.
Definitely a lost opportunity right there. I mean, they were in prime position to put 6 on the board. Ended up settling for 3.
And here comes the Texans now. And last time the turnover on the fumble, and they were in enemy territory, so that had to be very frustrating. Down on the scoreboard here, can't do it again.
You nailed every part of what was frustrating. Down on the scoreboard, had a drive going, had pushed it past the 50-yard line, so they thought they were in striking distance, and to come away with...
And a big loss here as he's taken down.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away, because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Now then, after the sack, it'll be interesting to see what they have planned for 2nd and 23. Back now in Houston. It's Texans football, but they trail here as we get started in the 4th quarter. Now then, after the sack, it'll be interesting to see what they have planned for 2nd and 23.
Richmond.
Operating from the gun. Watson eluding the pressure right. And he'll be just shy of the 20 at the 19 as he goes out of bounds. Give him 7 there on the tuck and run, and they're in better shape now for 3rd.
Okay, he's not going to get the first down, but this is still a nice job of buying some time and then running to get to the sideline and get out of bounds and avoid the big hit.
The Texans on 3rd down. They're struggling. 0 for 6 thus far. This is 3rd and 16. Watson operating from the gun. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. A good pickup there, a 22. You cannot write these guys off just yet, not with a quarterback like that under center.
You mean it actually crossed your mind with him running the team that you could actually maybe write this game off?
Not yet.
Not a chance. Not with him. We've seen it too many times.
Flush to his right. The hook up on the right side to Hopkins. And he's able to get this one out closer to midfield across the 45. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion.
Tiger. Hey, come back.
On 2nd down, here's Watson going deep for Hopkins. That's caught inside the 20. And give him a gain of 37. Defensively, you said coming in earlier in the broadcast, the magic number was 20 points for you. That's what you thought they would have to hold this offense to or less than that. And, wow, they've done that in a big way, haven't they?
And not only have they done it, they put themselves in a great position to win this one because holding them down was paramount. If they could get it done.
And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Daniil Hunter in there to drop him, and his great season continues. 13 sacks for him now on the year. Coming up now on a 2nd and 15 following that sack.
Tiger.
Watson now from the gun. He'll throw over the middle, and it's incomplete.
Well, he'd been targeted quite a bit on this drive, and finally I think the guys on the defensive side, they said no more. They slapped the double coverage on him, made it very tough for him to get the ball.
The Texans on 3rd down. It's been a problem. Just 1 for 7 thus far. This will be 3rd and 15. From the gun, Watson. Buying time to his left. He's going to run, but he's got a long way to go. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. It's a gain of 9 yards. And that'll bring up 4th down. And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter. Let's see how this plays out.
Black 22. Come back.
Got to try it here. He's back to throw. And he's going to go down. Sacked right around the 17. Linval Joseph in there to pick up his 2nd sack now of the afternoon. Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10 at their own 16. And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. He spins free. And good yardage as he gets this one up to about the 23. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3. Working right, and he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. Call it a loss of 2 on the play, and they're going to have a 3rd down. Now they'll run it on the toss. And he got blown up on that play. Back at the 20. That'll make it 4th down after a loss of 1.
So where'd all that running room that he had in the first half go? Because it looks like it's drying up a little bit here. Someone made some adjustments, it appears, at least on this drive.
They only punted twice in the win last week as he gets this one away. Fielded at about the 28. Oh, he nearly broke that one. As it stands, though, a heck of a 36-yard run back. And the Texans with great field position to start this drive as they take over 1st and 10. A fourth-quarter score now from Heinz Field in Pittsburgh. And you saw the score at the bottom of your screen a moment ago. We got a good one going on there. Watson, if they held on, it would be win number 10 for him on the year. And he was hit as he threw it there, and it forces it incomplete.
Well, the pressure, the hits, the sacks have been coming at him all game long. I'm frankly surprised that they haven't found a solution yet to create more time for him to throw it, or maybe change what they do on offense.
Yeah, that's one of the biggest differences in this game and why they're losing right now.
Black 22! Black 22!
On 2nd and 10, Watson steps away to his left, fighting him off, and he'll slide down to avoid the contact. He turned that into a nice gain, gets him 8 yards closer for 3rd down.
Richmond! Tiger! That's 2. Yeah, let's get set lunch.
Time for a break. We'll come back and see this one out after this. The Texans on 3rd down. Just 1 conversion in 8 tries. Not good. Here it's 3rd and 2.
Richmond!
Out of the gun, Watson. That is caught inside the 5. And they are able to stop him, but he does take it all the way to the 2. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. Here's Watson. And this is caught now for a late touchdown. So hold everything here. This one's not over yet. Okay, so they got the score. Do you go for 1 here and save the possible 2-point conversion for later?
I think you do, because if you go for 2 here and you don't get it, that's deflation.
Yeah.
Now you wonder why you're even going for it. Take the easy one now and come back and try and get it later.
So here we go. They'll need the recovery, obviously, then a touchdown and a 2-point conversion to tie. Oh, the Texans may have recovered. They did recover. So they've accomplished half the mission, Charles. They get the onside kick. They do need a touchdown here, but they've got some time to do it.
In the excitement, there's no need to press. Plenty of time. They have the opportunity. Now they just need to execute and finalize things.
Come back!
He's back to throw. Flushed out right. He's going to let it fly. It's caught inside the 25. A very nice pickup of 33 yards. Working the sideline there. Good route, good catch. First down, and he gets out of bounds.
Yeah, you have to like the play calling because you have to run some guys down the middle of the field to draw some of the defenders away. They can't just let them guard the sideline exclusively. That's how it's going to work. Sidelines and incompletions to use the clock.
And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. Daniil Hunter in there to take him down, and the clock will roll. They'll come up after the sack on a 2nd and 12. Back to throw. Dancing to his left. And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. It's just a gain of a couple there on the scramble, and now it's 3rd down.
Nice solid game there, partner, but the clock is starting to become his enemy.
Absolutely. Every second right now, more and more precious as it ticks. In need of a conversion on 3rd down. They had the big play to start the drive. Not much sense. He'll look to throw. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete. This pass rush, they've been excellent all game long, and another example of it right there in the closing moment.
Not only with the pass rush, but how well they're coached, because if you don't quite get there, get to the quarterback, get your hands up into the passing lane and knock it away as we just saw there.
One score down. Here we go. They're going to go for it here on 4th down. They'll look to throw. Escaping the pressure right. And no, it's incomplete. There to knock that one away defensively, Eric Kendricks. So they've gone for it twice now on 4th down in this game, and both times unsuccessful.
I wish we could hear the headsets now between the head coach and the offensive coordinator. Now that they're 0 for 2, if they get into a 3rd situation, head coach might say, hey, you got anything for this one? Might get radio silence back.
And he'll take this one up close to the 25-yard line. And now the Texans are going to stop it as they signal for a timeout, as they get it right at the 32nd mark of this 4th quarter. This, in all probability, another run here on 2nd and 8. Now they'll run it on the toss. Spinning pat. He's got daylight. The 40, 30, 10. And he's across for the late touchdown. And in the final seconds, that one should just about put a capper on this game.
And that touchdown should make you feel comfortable. But do you really feel like it's totally over yet?
Not totally, but I think you're pretty much there.
Yeah, you still got to make sure you stay with it, do all the right things down the stretch, especially on defense. But that touchdown there, you've got to feel good about your chances.
Bailey now to kick this one away. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. And now out comes Houston. They can't do much at this point, partner. This one is going to go down in the loss column.
You don't make up for what has happened during the game in this sequence here. Maybe you hand it off and let someone run the ball if you so choose. But otherwise, just kneel down, call it a day, and try and prepare going forward.
Watson, off play action. Rush coming, and he's taken down.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Got to imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on 2nd down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18.